Okay, we should be good to go. Let's get right into
My
it.
skills have increased.
Done.
So we were talking to a couple of people outside the mortuary gate, and the city is called the City of Doors, and there seem to be a lot of portals everywhere, and there are keys which could be anything, and portals also could be anything. And we met a paranoid lady who has been trapped in here. I think her name was Ingress, maybe. And she runs around trying to get out, but she has been heavily disfigured due to the many accidents she got into when trying to escape. And there are a lot of thugs here who aren't really conversational. We met a hired dweller, and he pointed us. He, as well as a dustwoman, as well as few others, the signpost here pointed us towards the gathering dust bar, I think, for dustmen. Gathering dust and smoldering corpse. I think those are a couple of bars. And yeah, in gathering dust bar, we might find Emmerich as well as another person who's looking for the Wandad. If you look at the Wandad, it says Noroj. Noroj is looking for interested parties who will who are willing to investigate a matter of utmost importance. So that is what all of these are pointing towards the gathering dust bar. So if you ask a question here, this post should point to the gathering dust bar west to the building before you. Okay, so we'll go into the gathering dust bar, try to get some information on Farod. Oh yeah, we were looking for Farod, and Farod was being investigated by Emmerich or Emmerich. I don't exactly remember his spelling, but uh, yeah, Emmerich has been investigating Farod, so he probably knows where Farod is. And I think if you ask about Farod, somebody pointed to west and down below. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was this person, this zombie. Maybe it was some other. Okay, again I'm forgetting. But to the south and west, a little down towards south and west might be where we might find Farod. But we'll see. So we are going right into this bar. I hate the weapon we are carrying. So let me just quickly change our weapon to be our green steel knife. Yeah. So this was kept inside the number 42 zombie. There
Chief,
we go.
what are we doing in here? Let's say we just give this place the laugh, all right?
We were going to talk to Mort about a lot of things. That's where we stopped last time, I think.
Hey, what's
Because
eating you
Mort
today?
has a lot of new dialogue. It's a ring-shaped city that's squatting on top of an infinitely tall spire in in what some claim to be the center of the plains. Of course, how it could be at the top of infinitely tall spire and how the city could even be at the center of the plain raises some questions. Infinitely tall spire, a ringed city, ring-shaped city. Sigil's called the City of Doors mostly because there's a lot of invisible doors that lead in and out of it. Just about any arc, door frame, barrel, hoop, bookshelf, or open window might be a portal under the right conditions. It all depends on if you have the key to open it. See, I guess the best way to explain it is most portals are sleeping, right? You could walk through them, by them, or on top of them, and nothing would happen. Now, every portal has something that wakes it up. That could be a tune you hum, loaf of week old Bitopian bread, remembering what your first kiss was like, and then bam, the portal gets its juices flowing, and you can jump through it to whatever's on the other side. Like where? Anywhere, chief. Literally, any place you can think of, there's a portal there. That's a sigil so popular across the plains. Can you read to me what's okay? More. I don't mind you tying no more. Is there anything else you can do except chatter? Is my best trait. Then grins. He. Oh, that's good to hear. But seriously, I got a knack of chattering in just the right way. I can really bend an ear if you know what I'm saying. I got insults back talk, insults, Back talk, subtle call someone's ear into their skulls, you know. How's that useful? It's one of my many talents. I called my litany of curses. You see, sometimes I can really bend someone's ears with just a right comment, of course. Then I usually have to do a lot of running afterwards. But you get the idea.
Updated my journal.
Well, I can spit insults at someone until they get mad enough to chase me around. What does an ability called Litany of Curses? It's a non-magical taunt. If the target fails to resist it, they suffer a penalty to their armor class, attacks, and will do nothing but try to engage more in melee combat. Not that more insults, more tears, the better his Litany of Curses becomes. The Litany of Curses is very effective against mages. So if we are a kind of an aggressive person in conversations, you're bound to get uh, more curses thrown against us or at us, and if that happens, litany of curses maybe becomes more effective over time. Well, here's how I see things. Go on. I think you should try and root out this furrow wherever he set up keep. You wouldn't have had those directions set on your back if he didn't have some inkling of what was up with you. One of the locals around here has to know where he is. Good point. Okay, so we are looking for furrow, even with approval from Mort. You said you are Mimir, right, Mort? Yeah, Mimir is a floating encyclopedia. You put information in, you get information out. I see. Encyclopedia doesn't like classic encyclopedia doesn't accept information though, right? I see. I had some other questions. What's eating you, Chief? How did you die, Mort? That's a question that we should have asked like 4 hours ago. No idea, Chief. I kind of forgot when I died. I can't say I blame myself much. At least there was something waiting for me after I died, even if it's a life as a floating skull. I mean, it could have been worse. What happened to your body? I don't know, alright? It's just gone. But don't think I miss it because I'm happy just the way I am, and I don't need your half-wit judgments or snide remarks, alright? Okay. Mortai Gravesand. Balmy nonsense. Dustman, 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 zombie worker, Dustman, awaiting death, Dustman, Noroj,
Done.
old Coprise, Emmerich. So this is Emmerich, Noroj. We can spend like 3 hours in this place. Holy shit. Oh my god, okay. The bar is made from green stone that seems to evaporate any liquid that touches it. That's a nice touch. Zombie worker. Female corpse is dressed in a heavy burlap shirt covered with food and wine stains. Her lips have been stitched closed and her arms and legs are wrapped in several layers of bandages. Bandages seem to have been soaked in preservatives to keep the corpse fresh. As a result, the corpse's rotting odor has been replaced with an equally repulsive vinegar smell. So, doing anything later? Wouldn't respond, I guess. What is it? Did you see the way that cadaverous beauty was staring at me? As when she was looking for some lucky cutter to throw her coffin. Oh, please don't start this again. So at least we acknowledge that this conversation has happened in the same way. Mort ignores you and becomes thoughtful. I don't really mind the attention actually. It's just that I like to be seen as something more than just a skull, you know. I have feelings that go beyond my base animal instincts. I want courtship, not some fortnight fling around the mausoleum. Keep it up, I'm going to fling you somewhere. Mort, you are a skull. Nobody can help but see you as a skull. Accept it. I chose the third option actually. Didn't acknowledge that it just quit out of the conversation. These bubbling tanks are dispensing the contents into the wooden kegs. The faint smell of vinegar in the air. God damn it. Alright. I hate being not able to carry more things. Oh, no, 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 no. Oof. Okay. We leave him in peace. Okay. Thank goodness we can't talk to the rest. I just wish they just made them non-interactable if that's the case. Zombie bodyguard, Emmerich. Let's just quickly check the containers first. See if there's anything useful. Mortai Gravesend, which is not someone who we have heard about yet, I think. You look lost, sir. So we can talk to Emmerich. I think we should talk to Emmerich. Heavy set man. Greetings. You have the look of lost. You have the look of one lost. Man's voice is unsettling. Did the wind send you, or are you here with purpose? I am Emmerich Factotum, the initiate of the fourth circle. There are a couple of circles that the dustmen have. If you measure ownership in copper, this is not my establishment. If you measure ownership in spirit, it is mine. The dustmen here are my students. They are under my protection. Dustmen seek the true death. Some call it oblivion, but this is incorrect. To dustmen, true death is the freedom from chains of this false life. False life. This life that many cling to with their emotions is a false existence. As long as one clings to it, they will continually be reborn into it. One must divest themselves of emotion to escape the cycle. But it seems like most people who die just go right to true death. Only like very rare entities like us keep being reborn. So why are they obsessed with this true death if the most natural, not the most natural, the most statistically probable thing that happens in this world is true death, and it's only very rare that it happens to people like the nameless one and they are reborn. Then why are they so obsessed with this true death? It doesn't seem like a big thing to fight for if everyone accepts it already, right? Or just don't have a problem with already. Organized into 5 circles. Fifth circle is made of the longest rank of dustmen, initiates. First circle comprises of the highest ranking dustmen, the ruling body of perfection. He's in he's in fourth circle, right? That's what he said. Factum and initiate of the fourth circle. He's initiate of the fourth circle. He just Came into the fourth circle, but he acts like he has two bodyguards. But I assumed he's someone more important. I've come in search of a journal. These eyes haven't seen no journal. Perhaps his actually takes her elsewhere. Farod. I would know why you seek Collector Farod. Collector? Collectors gather info the dead and bring to us. I would know why you seek this collector. They gather dead for us for copper's sake. The streets are not a burial ground. The mortuary is where the dead are to be interred. It's a duty of a dust. It's a duty of a dustman. If you feel he's trying to make a point, I would know why you seek this collector Farod. Is there something wrong? The collector Farod has brought many corpses to the mortuary of late. One must ask where these bodies are from. Some are recent dead. They still have their last moments in their eyes. Many more bodies are centuries dead. The dust of ages lies upon their bones. One must ask where these bodies are from. Why would you do such a thing? If you spoke with the collector Farod and returned with his answers, you will have done a great service for dustmen. Find where the dead he brings to us are from, and you will be rewarded. Very well, I'll find Farod, speak to him, and find out where these dead bodies are. He brings to you, dead bodies he brings to you are from. Your path is our path. Return here when you have collector's Farod's answer. It is not known to me where the collector Farod is. He hides from the eyes of dustmen. I would seek other collectors and ask them your question. Okay, he seems to be the most prominent figure in the investigation regarding Farod. Everyone's saying that he is the one investigating. At least every dustman is saying, but he's showing us his hands. He doesn't know anything at this point. Okay, we went through the dialogue tree fairly quickly, and I am happy about that. I thought it was gonna last another half an hour. To awaiting death super quick. Before you see a young Dutchman, stubble on his chin, dark circle beneath his eyes, staring at the wall with a somber expression. Greetings. Dutchman doesn't look up, he stares straight ahead as if he's seeing something several leagues beyond the walls of the bar. Alrighty then. What is the said? Let's go achieve this. He might as well be fertilizer. Fertilizer? That's oddly specific. As you turn to leave, the dustman speaks, his voice. As you turn to leave, the dustman speaks, his voice barely a murmur. You have to strain to hear the words. You think he said something about wanting to die. The boy's expression does not feel clear. Do you want to die? No. Do you? Yes. Do you? Yes. Do you? Okay, this makes sense. I really don't know. Do you want to die? Why do you? Yes. Why do you want to die? Why do you want to leave? Why don't you want to leave? Then why haven't you killed yourself already? Why do you want to die? This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. Why would anyone wish to remain in this foul city in the center of a multiverse that feeds on pain and hatred? Death is silent, comforting. Surely living cannot be as bad as you make it. That's a bleak outlook. There's a lot more to life than pain and hatred. Then why haven't you killed yourself already? Surely living cannot be as bad as you make it out to be. This is leaving. He bares his teeth and his hands clench. This existence. This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. Death is silent, comforting. Trust me, it's not. Maybe after the first death. Then why haven't you killed yourself? If this life holds nothing for you, then you should die. This is leaving. He bares his teeth. This is leaving. This existence is a mockery of life. I do not wish to continue the charade any longer. Death is silent, comforting. Trust me, it's not. Maybe after the first death. I don't know what this sentence is saying. Why haven't you killed yourself already? If this life holds nothing for you, then you should die. Why haven't you killed yourself already? I've been looking for a means to end my life. Will you kill me? No, yes, it depends how much. If you lack the conviction to kill yourself, I'm not going to do it for you. I need to know more before I can make an answer about this. Hmm. I need a different line of questioning that I can take with this person. No, wait. You think he said something about wanting to die? Do you want to die? Yes. Do you? No. Do you? Yes. Do you? Yes. He studies you. Why do you want to die? Truth. What is there to live for? I am trapped in the city filled with beasts and monsters, no recollection of how I got here or why. I am a stranger both to the city and to myself. Life holds nothing of value for truth. Because it is denied to me, that alone makes me desire it. There is something, that's just baby crying. There is something missing inside me. I'm here speaking with you, but still somehow I feel hollow inside. No matter what I do, I cannot shake the feeling. I think death may be preferable. I think it's possible that I may learn something about myself in death that I cannot in life. I was lying when I told you I wanted to die. Who does? Do you? Uh, Trapped in the city we filled with beasts. No recollection of myself. Many of these are good answers. I just wish there's a way to go back to some of these and tell a different line, but probably it will just skip us ahead. The dustman listens silently. After you speak, he does not respond, merely watches you. He looks like he's thinking. Do you want to die? He said, why you asked? Okay, I think this is going to be his response for most of the things. Yes. Why don't you want to leave? This is leaving. Okay, I think it's both of them give us the same answer. Life hold nothing for you, then you should die. I have been looking for a means to end my life. Will you kill me? If you lack conviction to kill yourself, I'm not gonna do for you. I don't. It's not about conviction though. Conviction alone isn't enough to force us into an act. It requires more resourcefulness to do anything, let alone kill yourself. Like conviction isn't the deciding factor. You have to be resourceful to do that. It might be that he's resourceless in ways that does not allow him to proceed with this. We'll say no. Very well, leave me. We shall not speak again. Let's go one more round with him. Oh, god damn it. Come on. We should have. I hope we can talk to him again. Hmm. Is there an autosave? I don't think there's an autosave. Because I didn't expect him to be unresponsive after that. Mm, 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 mm. Okay. Would I like to see what happened here if we clicked yes? Yeah, that doesn't seem to be an autosave. This is long ago.
Ooh, looks like my skills have increased.
All right.
So we talked to Emmerich. He has given us a quest potentially. Ingress was the lady's name. So we should talk to Mortai, Seri, and Noroj. Old Copprice also. Let's see Old Copprice. Before he's a tall, silent figure, he could easily pass for a statue. Although the deep furrows in his face and brow make you wonder if the sculptor was little too eager in defining the face. Although the deep furrows in his face and brow make you wonder if the sculptor was too eager in defining the face with the chisel. He looks well over 50 years old, but exactly how much of 50 it's hard to tell. As he slowly turns to look at you, you catch the dull sheen of copper in his eyes. Old copper eye stares at you. His eyes are difficult to make out past the black well of his eye sockets, but they look to have a coppery sheen about them. I wish we can talk to Awaiting Death again. He seems like an interesting character. I mean, he is coming of age. He is a younger dustman with a stubble, so he is kind of getting in touch with the realness of things in the city, I would say. Uh, so it's like he's hitting a kind of existential puberty at this point, trying to figure out if he wants to proceed with the life as is or uh, have some radical ideology that's different from what he's seeing around him. I don't know. It's just, it feels like it's just puberty. Uh, this man, Mortai Gravesend. This tiny wizened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. This tiny wizened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. Dwarf, chosen to cloak his small stature, although he looks to be in his late 90s. My God. This man is extremely energetic. He fidgets continuously. His eyes dart around the bar like birds. The man's eyes gleam as he takes your measure. He gives a slight nod in greeting. Hail, well-met traveler. You look like one who is just getting their sigil legs about them. That is true. He trails off. Pardon me. Have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. You might have seen me, possibly. Are you certain it was me? Maybe I was mistaken. Well, no matter. How is that Mortai Gravesen may help you? Do you seek? He clucks his tongue as he speaks. The contract, perhaps? Contract. Is he the one who is signing up all the zombies? Contract. The contract. Why? It is a simple transaction. From the depths of his huge robe, Mortai pulls forth a dusty parchment and a quill pen. It gives you. I give you 50 commons. In return, after death, the Dustman faction may claim your remains. He smiles, then clucks his tongue. What use will you have for them at that point anyway? What do the dustmen do with the body? Mortai holds up his hand as if he doesn't know. What does it matter? It's of no consequence when you pass on. It matters to me. Well, if you must know, oftentimes nothing is done with the body, and it is we, the dustmen, nothing is done with the body, and it is we, the dustmen, who have wasted all that money. More fools us. Mortai gives a light smile, then looks apologetic. But rarely There are times when the worker in the mortuary need to be replaced, and then we may have a need for your body. You mean as I'll be animated as a corpse and put to work in the mortuary? That doesn't sound good. Very well, I'll sign. Not interested. Thanks. I have some questions. Ah, but no harm is done, no pain. And there is no danger. In exchange for money you can spend in this life, you merely have to give us something you will have no need of anyway once you have died. I signed the contract myself, if you must know. I shall have no need of my body when I pass on. True. Very well, I'll sign. I'll consider it. For now, I have some other questions. Of course, of course. It would be my pleasure to answer any questions you may have. He was just recruiting people, and we just came in, already looking like half a corpse. Tell me about the contract again. I'd like to sign that contract you mentioned. Can you tell me about some of the patrons here? Of course. Which of the patrons? Oh wow. Okay, we should have talked to. You know what? The game gave us a direct clue when we walked in. There was a there was a pop-up message on top of him saying, "Hey, hey, attention, please come here." We ignored him and went around the room talking to everyone else. Now we pay the price because we could have went in to these conversations with a bit more insight if we talked to him first. Mm. Can you tell me about awaiting death? A troubled initiate. Uh, he seeks death with a passion that is most inappropriate for Desmond. Not allowed to feel passions. Oh my, yes. Too much passion, too much emotion prevents one from reaching the true death. To be passionate runs contrary to the philosophy of our faction. Okay. Did he say which circle he was from? He did not introduce himself. Did he? He just said Mortai Gravesend. He didn't say which circle he was from. True death. The true death is a state of peaceful oblivion all Desmen aspire to and help others reach. Anything that ties a soul to this life is shunned by our faction. Whether these ties are possessions or emotions. You see, passions act as a anchor on as an anchor on the soul, preventing it from reaching true death. He shakes it. Very bad, very bad. Had some other questions. It seems like why don't they just commit some sort of a cult mass suicide if that's the case? That would feel appropriate, right? Maybe there's an extreme wing of dustmen who has split off and has done that before maybe, but it seems like they're putting a lot of effort into convincing others of their cause maybe, or maybe they're just taking care of the dead ones and paying due respect. I'm not entirely sure how convinced all of these people are about their ideology. Maybe only the top people have the clearest idea of what dustmen as a group want, and the rest of them are just kind of uh, seeing the appeal of the ideology on a more surface level and like doesn't know anything deeper. All of these people who are not talking to us. Of course, not us. Contract. Okay, talk about journal. I know nothing about a journal. I deal with the documentation of a much different sort. I mean, it's a ridiculous question to ask to a random person in a huge city, but we have the option to, so we should ask. Like, I don't know if we should ask, but yeah, I'm glad that that option is there. The contract. Okay. Searching for Farod. He's one of those collectors, isn't he? I know a little of him. I think the initiate Emmerich mentioned him in passing. Emmerich should be around here in bar somewhere. He can usually be found in the far corner of the table, I believe. Initiate Emmerich, a respected initiate of the fourth circle, a very wise man. Motai studies you slightly worried. What is your business with him? May I ask? Perhaps I can help you instead. Perhaps I can help you instead. Very wise man. Why is Motai worried about us talking to Emmerich? No, no, good sir. He will not offer half the price I will for such a contract. It would be a mere pittance compared to what I could give you. Consider this before you make a hasty decision. Did I lie earlier? Or I don't know this contract thing with Emmerich. We just said that we'll help him find a Farod, right? What is this contract? Why did it even show us that we were talking about contract? Are we just trying to haggle more than 50 comments? I will offer 75, 100 coppers, sir. Much more than any other dustman will offer. Of course, of course. Okay. Initiate Emmerich, respected initiator 4 circle, very wise man. It's not even said as truth or lie. It's just a statement without a qualifier as a truth or a lie. Old copper eyes. The one with the eyes of copper, his eyes speak about his purpose here. Semicircle over his heart. A member of the dustmen he may be, but I would never sign a dead contract with him. Copper in his soul, and to me, that speaks of an excess of passion for money. Copper in his soul, and to me, that speaks of an excess of passion for money. He's a dustman in name only. Aye, dustman. Uh, you mean I could sign a dead contract with him? Yes, but it's much better that you sign with me rather than the greedy monster. Greed is passion that kills, and to dustmen it is twice as deadly. Do not trouble yourself speaking to copper eyes, good sir. Deal with me instead. I can't get a read on. He definitely feels shady, at least in certain aspects, but I can't get a clear read on him. Hmm. He has a strange expression. Forgive me, I must ask you again. Are you sure we haven't met? I said you possibly we would have met. I have been through the mortuary in and out, it seems like. So definitely you might have seen me at some point uh, under different circumstances. Yes, farewell, farewell. Something about that one. I just wish we could talk to awaiting death again. It's locked. It's locked forever now. Hmm. Copperise makes barest of notes, slowly reaches into his dustman robes with both hands. With his left, he pulls out a small bag of human skin. With his right hand, he draws forth a piece of parchment folded around a finger bone pen. The bag and the parchment are slowly uh, laid on the table in front of you. Pick up the parchment and examine it. Sign the parchment. Examine the bag. Take the bag. It's a contract that entitles the dustman to take possession of the signer's body after he has passed beyond the eternal boundary. The signer in exchange receives a monetary sum from the dustman agreed upon at the time of signing. You assume the sum in the bag is the amount you will receive for the signing the contract. Examine the bag. The bag is full of coppers. There looks to be about 100 in there. Simply reaches for the bag and parchment and draws them into the folds of his robe. Crazy people. Not exactly. What is it exactly? In exchange for 50 coppers commons, the death contract gives the dustman faction the right to your corpse after death. Do you wish to sign the death contract? There is no option to haggle with him. He seems to be the least interested in, not least. I guess this is the person who is trying too hard to haggle. This is someone who gives you straight up information and then just says, okay, you can sign this. And this person here, the old corporation, doesn't even say a thing. He just acts without. Okay, let's talk to the skeptic again. Do a quick save. As you approach, the elderly woman turns and stares at you. La, look who's come calling on Serene today. Death's dearest son. Wow, she knows us? By every power and its mother. Boy, what crypt did you crawl out of? I'm fresh from the mortuary actually. Joke. Well, the crypt was losing its charm, so now I'm looking around for the right place to die. That's all. Palms my ears to hear you gave that place a laugh. Boy, not much of a watering hole for one who isn't relieving themselves. Too many cobwebs and dusty minds. A dustman, I suppose. I've seen enough sand pass through the hourglass while wearing these robes. This body almost ready to pay the ferryman. Ferryman. Mirth. What is mirth? Great merriment. Okay. He chuckles, but without any real happiness. Are you afraid of dying? Of course I am, boy. Who isn't? She frowns and glances around. Well, except dustmen. They are not afraid because they have been swallowing so much of their own bad droppings over the decades. They have blinded themselves into thinking that death is some kind of release. Shh. Not afraid because they have been swallowing so much of their own bad droppings that over the decades they have blinded themselves. It is a release of sort. You don't sound much like a dustman. So what sparked this crisis of faith? Straight up ask this. Okay. Life, suppose it. Never you mind. I bore you with nagging details. Niggling details. I'd like to know actually. Oh, would you? She looks at you skeptically. Shh. How old do you take me for, boy? Old? Not too old. Rather youngish. Lie out of kindness. I don't know and I don't. I actually don't know and actually don't care. But I'll let her down gently. Well, you're wrong. I'm really old. Now I have spent most of my long years teaching dustmen. I've seen many dustmen whelps grow within our order, taught them the ways of the faction, kept the faith, preached the tenets of the faction, and so on and so on. No questions, no doubt. This life was merely an antechamber that led to the true death. What happened? Well, half a month back, I went sick with fever. She thought. She sighs. I thought it was the end. It rattled my cage. How? Her face becomes as stone. There's something about having your faction members circle around your deathbed like a pack of pale-faced ghouls, nodding and agreeing that your suffering and dying is all for the best. So, oh, Seri is so fortunate. She shall soon be relieved of the burden of life. Burden of life. That's when it struck me. That there's something. That there's something. Your expression comes over her features. That there's something adult about not appreciating your life. Desmond keeps saying that life is misery and suffering. Is it that we should be happy to pass into oblivion? Should we? Questions, questions, and precious few answers. Uh, is it? Should we? It doesn't sound like you believe in Desmond philosophy. Yeah, I think all the initiates and the people they wouldn't have the depth of knowledge required to fully appreciate the philosophy like in any establishment, right? Only the people who are true believers or people who completely understand the philosophy back to front would have a clear answer against everything, would have resolved to fight that philosophy at every point. If you don't have that depth of knowledge or conviction in every turn, which you probably wouldn't if you are an initiator, or if you felt the appeal of the philosophy from distance without knowing its intricacies, then you probably wouldn't have that depth. And It seems like she was surrounded in that moment by people who were like that, who couldn't really pierce through to any of her questions. I suppose I've got a swarm of doubts all buzzing in my skull. Hard to get them all to be quiet sometimes. They need to be fed some answers, and I haven't got them all worked out. What will you do? Aren't the people in the first circle who can clear these doubts? To be square, boy, I don't know. That's a problem with doubt. I can't even trust that what I'm feeling is true, or if I'm scared of death only because my brush with fever, or even what I should do. Is this a passing thing? I don't know. If you had truly believed in the Dressman philosophy, then your brush with fever would not have left you with such doubts. The thing is, I don't think these lower level initiates or people in the circle would have the depth of knowledge for the full philosophy. Treat this as a test of your belief. Yeah, belief isn't just like blind belief isn't sufficient to sustain someone through such horrors. You need to have a more grounded understanding of the philosophy, I would say. It sounds like these feelings are, but in all honesty, like everyone we have talked to in Dustman cult, they all seem to have this very not very based, or it's a bit of an unfounded belief, bit of a cult like belief, without any true arguments to back it up. I wouldn't say it was a convincing philosophy all around, at least in the level of detail that was presented to us so far. It felt like they were whining, like that, and they've they've gotten enough supporters so that their whining starts starts to look like reasonable to them. Like maybe so, maybe so. She frowns, her face wrinkling up in concentration. I'll have to chew it over some more. You should. It's no small matter. Lana, enough of me rattling about my woes. Sears stares at your scars. You look like you've shared a few handshakes with death yourself. Hasn't that changed your views somewhat? Doesn't it make you appreciate life a bit more? Well, my condition is unique. I woke up in the mortuary. I think they mistook me for a corpse and were prepared to bury me. The strange thing is, I think I actually died and got better. I think it's sufficient. It's okay to kind of form a, a kind of a confident relationship with this person, because we have something of her at the moment. We have her worries and woes, since she was willing enough to confess those. So I think we can kind of let ourselves also go and try to see if there's a connection here. You're rattling my coffin. It is true. Yeah, I'm just not really. Uh, It is true. Strange are the ways of the plains. I've seen too much to throw any tale out with wash. She studies your face. If it's true, why does this happen? I don't know. All I know is I woke up in the mortuary with no memory, covered with enough wounds to kill me 3 times over. I don't know. She seems to think for a moment, then shrugs. Makes two of us then. Most peculiar. Never heard of anything like that. Shame about the memories. Out of all the people here, I think she's the only one that I am. Yeah, that is interesting. She seems to think for a moment, then shrugs. Do you have any idea why this happens? She might have some idea, maybe. Maybe she doesn't have enough knowledge in in these aspects. It feels like her depth of belief and knowledge wasn't sufficient to overcome her little bout with the fever. Nay, not one. Never knew anyone who death wouldn't take until now. This is I don't understand the consistency of this belief, in the sense these people are saying it's very rare for someone like us to exist, where even after death we are coming back. But then in the same way, these people are touting their philosophy about dying properly and letting go of emotions, right? But that happens all over the world. Like people die naturally, of course, they don't kill themselves, but they do die naturally and they don't come back. So what's the problem here? Do you want to speed this up? Do you want everyone to just uh, like voluntarily die faster? But then there are people like Farod who brings a lot of dead bodies, and they are questioning that okay, maybe they didn't die in the right way. Maybe they want the people to be convinced of this philosophy that they have, and then die according to that philosophy. Uh, yeah, I don't really understand the foundational belief here, but maybe we'll get some more context when we talk to someone in the higher circles. Since this is the first little faction that they have introduced, I would presume that they have a very core foundational belief system that would stand the test of any questioning, any sort of reasoning. It should be a set of self-consistent beliefs. Since it's just the first faction we meet, right? So I feel that should be the case here. Uh, Whatever doubt we are feeling would possibly be explained away by someone with a bit more depth of knowledge in this philosophy, maybe. Okay. Crypt crawler. I like her. She's nice. Questions, eh? Well, you can ask. Steely eye, then smiles. Crypt crawler. Eh, what does it look like? No idea actually. You don't know what it looks like. How do you expect to find it? I'm beginning to wonder that myself. I had some other questions. Questions, eh? Well, can ask. I want to ask you about some of the dustmen in particular. She frowns, her face wrinkling like a crumbled parchment. Right then, what coffin did you crawl out of? She mumbles. One of those shoddy splint coffins at Hamry's, most like. Gives corpse splinters, I hear. Gives corpses splinters, I hear. He sniffs. That boy's not worth a clip to copper since his father died. Hamry's. Hmm. Give me a moment. Okay. So strange are the ways of the plains. I have spent too much to throw any tail out. I don't. Oh wait. We have passed. Okay. Who is Hamris? Hamris is a coffin breaker. Pardon, coffin maker in the lower ward. Inherited the shop when his father died, much to the shame of every corpse needing a coffin. Crypt was tombstone in sigil. Those years just for show, boy. He died, she mumbles. His son talked him to death, most likely. That boy's tongue doesn't stop rattling. I'm surprised he doesn't shake his head loose from his shoulders. It does sound like you have a lot in common then. I don't want to say that. Well, it doesn't sound like I would like to be buried in one of his coffins then. Can you recommend anywhere else I could lie down and die? I want to keep a cheerful relationship with this person. She barks a laugh that rattles your ears. Ha, not here, unless you want to die of boredom. Okay. What's wrong with here? Someone pinched your sense and your side boy. She waves her hand around the bar. Look around. What do your eyes tell you? Dustman, a dustman mar, bunch of fun-loving dustmen drinking happily and conversing merrily, celebrating life to its fullest. If I say this, I think I feel like she's going to pick up on the sarcasm. Uh, you got a clever tongue there, boy. Mayhap your tongue is cleverer than you are. She squints at you, then snort. That explains the scars. Okay. We are trading blows here. But it doesn't explain why a dustman is standing here ridiculing other dustmen. Care to answer then? Are you a dustman? A dustman, I suppose. I have seen enough sand pass through. Okay. We have looped back into our original conversation. I guess the dustman robes don't fit me as well as they used to. What happened? Life, I suppose, never reminded you what you did. I'd like to know actually. Old. Well, you are wrong. I am really old. Okay, we don't have a right answer to that. Okay. Most of the years teaching dustmen, I've seen many dustmen wells go out of order. She frowns. I was merely anti-chamber that led to true death. Addled about not appreciating your life. The dustman keeps saying that life is misery. I feel like yeah, I feel like the people who are in the like people who we have talked to so far have only seen the surface level ideas of dustmen, which feels very immature in a sense, uh, as if they crave it more than they accept it, and the craving seems unfounded in the sense there isn't any evidence to their philosophies, or is there some evidence? Not sure. Hopefully, we'll get to know more soon. Okay, let's hear what she has to say about about Farod. That dog, he's a worst of the collector road. I heard he's kept set up somewhere in Ragpicker Square, many streets west of the mortuary gate. Ragpicker Square. Dangerous place though. Some of those collectors aren't patient enough to wait for folks to die so that they can sell them for junk. They're vermin that scavenge the bowels of the hive for bodies to sell to dustmen, make a living off the dead. A motley breed makes you ashamed to share the same city with them. At least they help keep the streets clean. Ragpicker Square. I don't know if it's the right location, but it seems like Emmerich, who even has bodyguard support and possibly some other people investigating for him, couldn't find out this detail. But she just casually mentions it because she heard it somewhere. Okay, let's ask about the different dustmen. We feel confident in asking about Dal to her because we confessed to her that we were wandering around in the mortuary, right? We can't say that to these other people. This is the only confidant we have now. This person, Dal, and the false zombie. What is his name? Varik or something, right? Soego. Do you know him? Ivy. Do you know her? This is awesome. We can ask about all of these people to her, who is a who is a nice person to talk to. I'm waiting that that boy has half the sense of a jackass. He actually wants to die, and him so young too. I wish death would rattle his cage, teach him a few things. Can you tell me about Mortai? Mortai, ha, I thought you were going to ask about a dustman. He spits. There's no dustman who's less a dustman than that jinx smacking bone box rattling lackwit. Yeah, he's the oldest, like 90, 99-year-old dustman. He shouldn't be alive. What do you mean? Mota is so anxious to impress his betters by getting the most dead contract signed that I'd wonder if he'll ever be a dustman. I don't understand. Yeah. He's eager to get contract signed, boy. He's concerned about his reputation. He's thinking of a career, of his career in dustman. That alone says it all. Still don't understand. It said that passions kill. For dustmen, it's the opposite. Passions keep you alive. And if you can't strip yourself of passions, whether eagerness, greed, or ambition, then you're doomed to never truly die because life will always hold a piece of you. He's too passionate about impressing his betters. He's so old now. He has no career left. Emmerich, that stone-faced old fool. I taught him, and I used to hold the man in high regard. Then I woke up. He's a crusty old ghoul that sits here in his off hours to make sure the younger dustmen have a symbol of authority here in this bar. Old vulture. Eh, Okay, copper eyes. Don't know much about that one. He's a strange blood. He never moves from that spot, never eats, never drinks, just waits. She shivers, makes me uneasy. He's like the final boss, actually. He's like the silent one who does all the things. It's like okay, maybe not mention this at the moment. He was reminding of me of a different character from a different game. He's a strange blood. He never moves from that spot, never eats, never drinks, just waits. Actually, I met a scribe named Dal at Mortuary. Do you know him? Dal. He was my instructor in the philosophical arts during my early training at the mortuary. What a crusty fool to boot. He's ill, so my ears tell me. I bet he'll even bore death with his presence. Sicker than a spotted dog he is. Sicker than a spotted dog he is. Not much sand left in the hourglass for him. That boy used to be a regular around here. Don't know what happened to him. Could be he was shaken up after his friend died. Explain? Can I ask? Mortuary. No, only the past few months. Last I heard he was just sent off for some missionary duty. I don't know where. One of his friends was killed in the hive a few weeks ago, torn apart by rats. Messy business. Why would? Okay. He was very sad and not looking the best when we saw him. As Soego, we've always been a guide at the mortuary. Okay. Ivy. Who? A strange young woman, poor eyesight, near deaf, talent for hands. Uh, Maybe she's a new initiate. I never heard of her. Okay. She's a new initiate. She's very skilled in her job. You didn't say this earlier. She smiles, revealing a row of uneven teeth. All right, boy. What sarcophagus did you scroll out of? She stops and chuckles to herself. Just ribbing you, boy. No harm meant. You look like dead sound, though. I should. I'm fresh from the mortuary. That's so. She raised an eyebrow. Warms my ears to hear you gave the place a laugh, boy. Not much of a watering hole. Too many cobwebs. Tea is a release of sorts. If you think life is a burden, boy, then perhaps. I'm not convinced of that. Hmm. I mean, he said of a sore, right? He didn't say that it's absolute. I must take my leave. Farewell. Into dustman. Okay. I think we have done enough talking in the room here. Come to sign the contract. So meet again, and how may I help you on this fine Sicilian day? Think you can help me. But I can help you, I can. Return, should you be in need of funds, not I can help, all in exchange for your signature. We can come here for 100 coppers if we want. I don't think it should have like a game altering consequence down the line if we take this copper. Maybe we'll just use that map feature and add a note here. Done. Okay. At least we could do a round in the gathering dust bar. We have question marks. These gates are made of featureless black metal. There doesn't appear to be any way to open them. Featureless black metal. Featureless black metal. Yes. We couldn't influence awaiting death in any appropriate way. So sad that this got locked. Right. What is this? Wasted. Right. Let's leave for now, and I think we'll just quickly look at our journal to see Planewalker. Okay. For ingress, we need to find Planewalker, source of Farod's bodies. That's our main line of investigation, maybe. Our conversation with Seri the skeptic was not recorded in the journal at all. It's unfortunate because she said a lot of good things. And she said that, what did she say actually? We take the map, world map, Rackpicker Square. So it's in Rackpicker Square that we should be able to find. Oh, that's a good direction to go. It's a good direction to go to find out more about Farod. So we'll just maybe add a note here for next time. So here, Farod in Rackpickers Square. Is that square? Square should be this, right? Rackpickers Square. So that will be our note. Oh, is there no way to delete this note? Okay, we right click it. That's the maximum. We can't type anymore. Okay. We'll put that there and we will save for now. I'm getting concerned about the length of this list. Maybe we should start overwriting. One day.
What's up? Yeah? Hey, what's eating you, Chief?
Okay, we'll stop it. Stop it here for now. And
All right.
we'll continue moving towards west, towards Rackpicker Square, and ask about Farod there next time.